Hello and good morning, viewers. Welcome to the 8th edition of Media Matters 2020. In today's web talk, we are going to be having deliberation on digital content marketing and customer engagement from Indian perspective. I'm glad to introduce you all to my MA professor, Mr. Vishal Nayak from St. Aloysius College, Mangalore, Karnataka, who is going to be our resource person for today. To speak about Sir Vishal, he is an assistant professor associated with MA Journalism and Mass Communication at St. Aloysius College, Mangalore, Karnataka. He has been teaching digital media marketing and other subjects in the institute for the past 10 years. Prior to joining St. Aloysius College, Mr. Nayak worked at various creative and strategic roles. He is a full-time academician at St. Aloysius College and is also pursuing his PhD in political communication and digital marketing from Kuempu University, Shimoga, Karnataka. I request all the viewers to turn off your video and mute your audio and put all your questions in the chat box so that we can take it up moment our resource person finishes with his presentation. So over to you, Vishal, sir. You can start with your presentation.
Yes, thank you, Dinesh sir. Can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, you are very much audible, sir. You can start with the presentation.
Yes, thank you. Good morning, everyone gathered here for this web talk on digital marketing by me. And first of all, I would like to thank Dinesh and the entire Department of Mass Communication and the Department of Journalism at St. Xavier's College for providing me this opportunity to present this web talk. I'm very excited to do this and see how this goes. I'm excited. Shall we start presenting then? Shall we?
Yeah, we can start. Yes.
Today's session on digital content marketing and consumer engagement. I will be mainly focusing from an Indian perspective, which is not to say that I will not be taking any outside or foreign materials, but we focus in India. This is one of the upcoming. It's already there. It's upcoming, and as I am going to show you the market share of advertising, which is going to be taken by digital content marketing, is huge. It's projected to be huge. So keep it to Indian perspective, but we will talk about foreign cases and case studies also. So before I start this web talk on digital content marketing and consumer engagement, let me give you a scenario. And I want you to tell me or tell yourself which scenario would you better. It's a common down-to-earth scenario, something which we have all experienced somewhere or the other. It's something which we see outside when we go. I'm sure we have seen this. So when you imagine that you're going on a car with a family, or you're going somewhere and you see a person standing on the one side of the road and he's selling jackfruits. You go to that guy, you want to buy this jackfruit, and you feel like having payasam or raw jackfruit. You go to this guy and you ask him, Bhaiya, what is the price of this particular jackfruit? He says $100 or so, and the deal is done. You say you're okay with that price, and then you give to the person $100. Now, that's scenario number one. I'll show you scenario number two, where on the other side of the road, another guy standing there, and he's also selling. But before he tells you a price or before you make the deal, he asks what is your in buying particular jackfruit? Is it for making sweets? Then why don't you this jackfruit? Is it making payasam? Then why don't you buy this jackfruit? It's much better. Is it for making fried sweets like modak or something. There's one sweet which is made out of jackfruit, which looks like modak product. So you can buy this jackfruit. So you say, okay, jackfruit, how much is the price? The price is $100 is the price, and also gives you additional info. He tells you how to clean jackfruit. He tells you how to clean your knife after you have cut the jackfruit. He tells how to after cutting the. He says one more important thing. He says, if you cut this jackfruit and if you don't want it's bad, you bring it back to me. I will give it to you another jackfruit. Of course, I won't return your money, but I'll give you another jackfruit for you. What has happened? Here, you pay the money and you have jackfruit home, whichever you want. And this is the second time. The third time, when you go to buy a jackfruit, who are you going to buy for? Because he has given you a lot of info other than selling a jackfruit. Without him, you might have been able to do this, but without him, you would not have known how to choose the right. So he has added value. What has happened here is this guy has sold a product. This guy has sold as well as added value to your life by giving you important information about cleaning. So what has happened here? This is the basic of content marketing. Do you get that point? This is the basic scenario, premise of content marketing. If you add value to your customers' life, you can better customer engagement. Customer engagement is not it's a very different ball game. How experiences your buying behavior, his buying behavior. What is they have their visit to your outlet or to your online website? That would be customer experience. Good customer experience leads customer engagement. And engagement of customers, I'm sure you would agree with me, is one of the things which is very important when it comes to for a company to retain the number of customers, and increase customer loyalty. So if you take this content marketing, adding value to the customer's life by giving content, by giving information, by giving good materials. If you take it to the digital scenario, it is known as digital content marketing. It's known as digital content marketing. So what are we going to see in this web talk? I'll quickly give you what exactly we will be covering. This particular talk, the content marketing is different from traditional advertising. We'll see what are the 3 mantras of content creation for digital content marketing. We'll see the different tools of digital content marketing. Some of them, not all. We cannot discuss everything in half an hour. Some content ideas you can start. Consumer engagement has not been developed only keeping a company in mind. You can be an individual who wants to start a blog, or you want to start a YouTube, or you want to start an Instagram page and become influencer marketing. It's possible. It will take time, but it's some of these ideas you can take with yourself and you can develop them. This is very basic. The premise of this web talk is very basic. This is geared towards students who will have to start from the scratch. So some content ideas you might already be knowing, some might be new. So, and if time permits, we will also have a case study from an Indian scenario, 1 or 2 time, if the time permits. But I'll definitely mention case studies before the talk ends, so that you can go have a better look on them. So the ultimate goal of talk this marketing on digital marketing is to discuss how to use digital content marketing filling consumer engagement trust. And consumers tangibly will be using here. Of course, there's a difference between customer and a consumer. A customer is a person who buys a subscription, she might not be the same person. Uses the person who uses the product or subscription is known as the consumer. But talk, the candidates have been told that it's to discuss how to use digital content marketing for building consumer engagement, consumer trust, and consumer loyalty. Consumer and customer will be used interchanged. So good. Hope you like this video today. We'll have some good content today. So what is DCM? What does digital content marketing mean? Very basic, down to earth, everyday example of content marketing and how we take it to digital media. It becomes digital content marketing. It's adding to the customer's lives by building trust and loyalty. But we'll see a very corporate definition. I've given you a very down-to-earth definition. Let's go for a very academic corporate definition. And that would be this. Digital content marketing represents an important and growing vehicle for fostering consumer awareness, engagement, sales lead conversion, trust, and loyalty. Big words there. We'll try to take them as one by one. I'll read that out once more. Digital content marketing represents an important and growing vehicle for fostering consumer awareness, engagement, sales, lead conversion, trust, and loyalty. We'll check out the first one, consumer awareness. What is consumer awareness? When a person, a consumer, becomes aware of a particular product or a service or a subscription, it is known as consumer awareness. It's a very basic, simple concept, but digital content marketing definitely helps in creating consumer awareness for particular products or services, subscription, whatever you want to call them. Okay. So next one is engagement. I have already told you what engagement is, but I'll give you another definition of engagement. Engage is how connected, how coordinated, how collaborative is the relationship between a customer consumer and the company she is associating from. Most of us have probably had some good experience with certain companies. We are more engaged with them. Maybe we prefer a particular hotel, restaurant rather than the other one because there we have a better relationship with the waiters, better relationship with the owners. We get better service, we get better value over there. The waiters recommend, take this, don't take that. So engagement is how good, positive the relationship between a company and the customer is. So the more the engagement, the better for the company. Lesser the engagement, there is a chance that when a better product comes, this person, this consumer, this customer can shift their loyalties from this particular place to another particular place. We have seen a lot of cases like this. Sometimes we have no choice. We have to go with a particular product. This used to happen earlier during the days of television. There was only Doordarshan. And then when the cable TV came, people shifted over there. Not because DD was bad. DD is still a good channel. But cable operators gave different option. They used to call, I remember when in the 90s, people, their cable operators and say, why don't you play this movie? And they used to play this movie on particular, it was illegal at that time, but still that was happening. So the engagement was going on between cable operators and the consumers. So that's it. So when there is a better option, when there is a different option, the customer might leave. Of course, I'm not saying that an engaged customer will never leave. It's not possible. It is possible that the customer, however engaged it is or however engaged she is, she might she might go to another company. So that's a different ball game, but it happens less frequently than the other scenario. What is the next one? That is a sales lead conversion. The sales lead conversion means a lead is a person who has shown into a company's product or a service. So if I watch a Netflix ad, the Netflix knows that I'm an interested party, so I become a lead. So they target me and they will say, convert this person from a lead to a prospect and from a prospect to a customer. That is known as sales lead conversion, converting an interested party into a customer or a customer, right? And so these things, the next two items, which is the trust which we place in the company. There's no need to talk more about trust. We all know what trust is. Certain companies we trust, certain companies we kind of don't trust as much as they would want us to trust them. And finally, we have loyalty. Loyalty is how loyal we are, how recurring sales we give them, how much we tell, not just sales. Loyalty also depends on the reviews which you give. Word of mouth. You tell your friend that you buy this product because it is a good product. And you recommend that. That's like it's the best advertising a company can get is a word of mouth advertising. That is one person telling the other person, look, why don't you buy this product? It's amazing. It has given me a lot of benefits. Probably it will give you too. On the other hand, if you don't know loyalty, you can probably have negative word of mouth saying, don't buy that, this is bad. I'm sure you have seen these scenarios in your personal lives and you've seen others happening also. This is the definition of digital content marketing. And these are the things which are there for digital marketing. Expert defined DCM as a management process responsible for identifying, anticipating, satisfying customer requirements profitably. That's what I have just been telling. So it's a relationship marketing tool. Very important part here when we talk about digital content marketing is that it's a relationship marketing tool. It builds relationship. It builds trust. Trust happens in a relationship. So it's a relationship marketing tool. It aids the development of consumer connections and attachment to the brands. So I think by now you have understood the definition of DCM, that is to build a relationship, build engagement, development of consumer connections and attachment of brands. How attached people are to the brands is known as consumer engagement, consumer loyalty. And one of the pillars which helps achieve this loyalty, achieve this engagement is what we call digital content marketing. It's not the only one, but that's one of the pillars which is going on right now. So let's ask ourselves a question. What is DCM not? So we should not confuse what is not DCM. DCM is not viral marketing. We'll come to that in some time. DCM is not at all viral marketing. The best answer would be DCM is not the advertising. It's not the advertising designed to persuade consumers to purchase focal offerings. This would be traditional advertising. Buy my product, here's where you get it. That would be traditional advertising. That is not DCM. DCM has that objective, but it doesn't say do this, buy this, right? So what is DCM? It focuses on increasing potential customers' appreciation of the brand or the firm. It focuses on increasing customers' appreciation of the brand or the firm. How does it do it? Like I've told you, by adding value to their lives. And how do you add value? By educating them about the brand. We'll see a couple of case scenarios in Indian perspective, how they do it so that you'll get a better understanding in the later part of this video. So let's do a quick comparison on traditional advertising and digital content marketing. Traditional advertising aims to foster sales in the short run, of course in the long run also, but it also does in the foster sales in the short run. The idea here is please buy my product. And the internal thinking would be focus on the targets, mate. Customers will come if our product is good. That has been the traditional marketing for a long, long, long time. But now, as most of you would know, times are changing. This kind of marketing is fading in its effectiveness. I'm not saying it is not working, but it is fading in its effectiveness. So we'll compare that with DCM, that is digital content marketing. It's about communicating with prospective customers without selling products either overtly or directly. It's more like our content makes your life better. Check our content. Also, you can try our products. Maybe, you can help, you can find value there also. But the objective of DCM is not selling overtly or directly. The content leads to value, value leads to trust and engagement, and thus becomes the person becomes a loyal, engaged customer. Okay, let's do another quick comparison. DCM, unlike traditional advertising, intends to boost consumer brand perceptions and ultimately sales. But unlike traditional marketing, it done relationship. But the first one is developing as a point of parity, that is the similarities between traditional marketing and traditional advertising and DCM. This one is known as the point of everything will have a point of parity. That's something which is required for a person to take it seriously. So if I need to take DCM seriously as an alternative to traditional advertising, I need clarities with traditional advertisements. So why DCM? The term was coined in 2001. And it's deployed in packaged goods and service survey done 5 years ago. It was 2016, it was 109 worldwide. Here, it's projected to be billion. Imagine the number of jobs available, imagine the number of trains available. Told you most importantly, today's consumers are becoming increased advertising. I'm sure that's true. Other traditional marketing, thereby paving the way for development. The future custom, the traditional advertising, she's going. There's a bombardment of advertising going on. The traditional media, in the mainstream media, customer of the future came to the YouTube. I'm talking about Instagram. I'm talking about Pinterest platforms. What you present over there is known as content and minds of the customers. Content doesn't mean only text or it can be video, communication, delivering and exchanging offerings that have value for the customers, clients, markets for a particular product. We are saying here. So creation, what you need creating content. There are three key mantras. Content should not focus. This is a classic one. Everybody should be let's put the customer first, not keeping this. You know, if you look at the scenario which people companies do, but there are some good companies who are doing it, as we will see. Produce content and better aid clients in their purchasing decisions. Remember the jackfruit guy I was mentioning sometime back, buying jackfruit produce current decision, but that is helpful. Like for them, by this jackfruit, so he binds in purchasing decisions and always they want to what we want to tell them. That's what Srini wants to tell them. It's about what they want to hear. That's the mantra. Subscription in indirect, but the objective is still selling. In sales, empathy is everything. You feel the other person's pain. You feel the other person's need. Not what you want to sell, but what they want to buy, and they have their problems. They are buying your product to solve their problems. Know what the problem is and see if the product solves the problem. You will win customers like anything. If you don't have that, none works. Empathy is everything. Every company, and here I'm talking from in terms of company will have a sales team, the people who actually go out and sell the product, the people who go out and deal with customers. It might be front operators, it might be in a bank, it might be people who transact with the consumer customers. In a mobile shop, with people who are standing in front of the store and selling the products. They have ultimate knowledge about not about what the customer wants. Use knowledge to produce your content. What, as an example, I have customer service thing. People keep asking me the same question. How does this product do this particular thing? Instead of having me or my team answer that question again and then again and again, build an article on your blog or on your website or make a video out of it, put it up on YouTube. Problem solved. And then add value to the customers. So, what are the different tools of DCM? Going to do it on a short, compact basis. Your company website can be a tool of DCM, where people, or your personal website if you're going for a personal brand. Virtual communities can be, you can create virtual community on Facebook, or you can create virtual community on Reddit. You can join them. Apple has a good virtual community where they together and solve each other's problems, congratulate each other when they buy new Apple products. So virtual community are communities which are joined by social media or digital media or virtual platforms rather than geographically. There's no geographical distance. Geography becomes redundant in a virtual community. I'm sure you're part of some virtual communities. Maybe you're a fan of just Facebook post. That's a virtual community, right? You can have blogs, short form of web blogs. That is, content management, WordPress, a Blogger, Blogspot. Blogs are video logs which you can upload on YouTube or video sites or Vimeo for that matter. YouTube is the best one as of now. Social media, which encompasses a lot of things. We don't need to get into that because all of us by now know what social media is. Social media, I also mean social networking. Okay, mobile apps, something which have been there for the last 5-6 years. It's been there for a long time, but for the last 5-6 years, the number of mobile apps have increased. But more than that, number of people using these mobile apps have increased. A more comprehensive list of DCM tools are here. You can have newsletter, e-zines. You can have podcasts, which are recorded audio interviews or whatever. You can have, they're called podcasts because they're used to use in the listen through your mobile phone or on your car when you're going. Live streaming video can also be done. They can be also part of the quizzes. You can have quizzes, online polls. White papers are academically researched papers, which are huge ones, which add more value to a consumer's life by going into a lot of depth. Some white papers which I've written, which I have studied, which I've read, have gone to 30, 40, sometimes 50 pages also, PDF pages, because that's how in-depth white papers will go. Infographics, I'm sure you've seen infographics, usually they're skyscrapers, which provide information in terms of graphics. That's why it's known as infographics, right? Downloadable templates, you can see that, this PPT template itself has been downloaded from somewhere. It's a good PPT template, so I downloaded it for this particular talk. It can be any other template. It can be a marketing plan template. It can be a homework timetable template. Why not? Or it can be a study revision template. And download that, make it a template, make it in Excel sheet, allow the user to download it, make changes, and keep reading that. So that's a downloadable template. Case studies can be there, guides, different guides, how to do this, how to do that. Virtual conferences, content hubs. I'll show you an example of content hub in a while. Webinars, and webinars is what we are having right now, web talks, virtual conferences. And long-form content means content which is available only for people who have subscribed to that particular channel, right? So some content ideas, I've taken these content ideas after seeing a lot of content, and what works can be, one of them can be lists. People love lists. Top 10 Avengers characters of all time. Top 5 James Cameron movies of all time. So top 10 Satyajit Ray films of all time. People love lists, right? Some content which you can make them understand. For example, today's thing is, what is DCM? Today's talk is about making participants understand what is DCM and how to use that. And also apply something, how to use this particular thing for that. I wanted to see, I didn't see it. I saw today morning on YouTube how to use something to whiten your teeth. I'm not sure what it is, but it is nothing related to oral care at all. Some kitchen item. So I wanted to see that after this talk. So how to use this for that can be a content idea. Analyze something, like for example, unboxing can be analyzing something. You've seen unboxing videos. So it used to be rage earlier. When somebody wants to buy a mobile phone, for example, or any gadget, for example, they go to YouTube and see unboxing videos. You can have that account analyzing something, evaluating something. Again, unboxing can be an example of evaluating something, but reviews are more commonly used for evaluating. You say, go watch this movie, 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5 stars. So you are evaluating something like reviews. You can create something and create an infographic. You can create a recipe video using your product. Many people are doing that. Many companies are asking people who are having good opportunities, who are having good following on the YouTube channel, chefs, home chefs, amateur chefs. They're contacting them and saying, use our products and tell them the benefits, and you can use, we'll pay you so much, or we'll give you lifetime. So these are some content ideas which I have got for you. And thanks. If you have any questions, you can tell me now. There's another 15 or 20 minutes left for this talk. I have the case studies ready with me. If you want me to take the case studies first, or if you want me to take the question first, that I leave it to Professor Dinesh. Dinesh, over to you.
Yeah, sir, if we can start with the questions, why? Because we are just running out of time. We just have 15 minutes more. So it's better that we take the questions. Yeah. So before I look up to the chat box and take questions from there, I would like to ask you, sir, about my question to you. In this ongoing pandemic, it has affected the advertising industry very badly. So what do you think? The traditional advertisers should shift from traditional way of advertising to CM, or they should take up something else which which is more better for them, because today I think so all the media platforms are suffering a lot of issues in terms of getting advertisements, due to which they're suffering from revenues. Today people are losing their jobs, etc. If you can tell me something.
Dinesh, and I was, to answer your question today, just today morning, I was watching the news and I saw an ad which I have never seen in my life till now. It's like I've been an advertising professional, I've been a professional teaching advertising. One ad, it's been running for some time. One ad I saw, it has never been, I've never seen that in my life before, and that is an advertisement for advertising. There is that advertising, that guild which is coming up with the ad. I'm sure you've seen that. It comes in, I saw that in Star Movies today. And it says, this ad can change the world. And it says, go and advertise. These are the benefits of advertising. Situation itna kharab ho gaya hai.
Exactly.
That advertisers are putting up ads. This is, like I said, first time I'm sure nobody has seen this ad for advertising. That's like, advertising agencies have always been on the lower radar. Like, we don't want to be seen through advertising. We'll show our products as an advertising. Okay? So that is the situation right now, where that's probably because of the COVID, where everybody's cutting their advertising spends. Otherwise, it would not have happened. COVID-19 has given a lot of problems to a lot of people, where people are cutting down advertising. And there is another thing which is going on in the US and UK, which might affect India also. That is this very important, crucial fight against racism, which is happening. People are removing their ads from certain platforms, saying that you are not, your policies about racism is not very valid. So that also might be the case, but I think it's more of COVID. In this situation, what we can do is also put DCM rather than just leaving traditional advertising and coming to DCM. Supplement it. You have your regular food also, but have a supplement food also. That supplement food can be traditional. Sorry, what do you say? Yeah, that would be the case. It's better to supplement rather than shift completely. You use the word shift. I wouldn't agree with the word shift. Supplement would be a better word. You keep traditional advertising as much as your money can say, and also DCM. Yes, Dinesh, sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, as you mentioned about that case, that example from US, I think so. Recently, even I read it on one of the platforms, saying that Fair and Lovely is going to be removing that fair part, the word fair from the brand. So now moving on to our questions from the chat box. I think so. There is a question coming from Miss Belarus Pereira. Her question is, how do you see retail marketing changing in India, especially when we have brands which are regional specific at times? Do you think local or regional brands will use DCM extensively?
They should be using DCM extensively, because one is local. When we talk about retail, we have to look about a lot of different things. One is we have these local mom and pop shops, we have these supermarkets, and we have supermarket giants. Also, we have Amazon and Flipkart, which are also part of retail marketing. And it's always better to have DCM. Amazon is already doing it. It's known as user-generated content. Reviews. We all see the reviews. So how to use this DCM, I think, is a question for local stores. That would be a question. Have a blog. Have a subscription marketing thing. I remember one example which was done in the US. It is a garage example I'm going to give you, which can give you the same thing. There is this garage owner. He used to come when he saw a new car coming inside. He used to type the number of the car in his database, and he used to know the name, right, immediately. Okay. Am I audible?
Yeah, very much.
Yeah. So what he did, he was not doing content marketing, but he was. I'm just telling you how digital can help local owners. And what he did, he used to go and greet the person with the name, because every car number registration is unique, and it is given to the person who is usually the person drives. It's a risk. if you don't know the person, but he did a good job by doing that. So that's something which a local mom and pop store, kirana store can do. Create a subscription. You have the numbers. WhatsApp is there. Create something on WhatsApp. Create a group. Most of them are doing now. Especially in Mangalore, they're doing it. Like this, I'm sure you know Fatima stores. They don't have any online presence, but they are doing something on. They are a kirana store, convenience store. They're taking orders on WhatsApp and they're sending good information on WhatsApp. Spar is doing that. So go for digital. It doesn't have to be on social media. It can be mobile marketing. It can be SMS marketing. But do not neglect. Retail people should never neglect DCM at all. There are so many ways they can do it actually.
Okay. Can we go to the next question, sir? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So next question is from Vishnu Bhatt. He is asking you for a suggestion. So his question is, sir, is this the best time for introducing new businesses with only digital marketing with bond between Ola, Uber, Zomato, Swiggy, Bounce, etc. Start delivery of
the question.
Yeah, the question is this the best time for introducing new businesses with only digital marketing with bond between Ola, Uber, Zomato, Swiggy, Bounce, etc. Starting online delivery of grocery, clothes, etc. Whatever customer wants by serving them with bonded company workers.
They're already doing it, right?
Exactly. Yeah. They're already doing that.
Definitely is a good time. COVID has opened up a lot of opportunities and COVID has closed a lot of opportunities. The ones who have opened you've taken the doors which have been opened definitely can be within. But if I'm not wrong, they're already doing it. And they have some strategies coming in mind. Here we need to talk about business models. It's a very different ball game. But I think in this case, in the future, whether COVID or not, this model might continue. The person who asked a question, that's a good question. The model is good. So even if the COVID-19 stops, I don't think the model will stop.
Exactly.
Because there's a lot of money to be made out of that model. So definitely it's a good time to start. It should have been started long back, but we had to wait for COVID. But it's okay, no problem. Somebody started.
Yes. The next question is from Nitin Vadwekar, and he wants to ask you whether do you think sales-focused content marketing is going to thrive in a lot of industries right now, as there is a lot of uncertainty due to COVID-19? I repeat the question for you, sir. Do you think sales-focused content marketing? Yeah, okay.
No, it is definitely going to work because I'll tell you one phenomenon for a long time. We didn't have to wait for COVID for that. One thing is, I'm sure the people in the industry who are listening will agree with me. There's a lot of content clutter which is going on. Clutter means everything. Everybody is saying something about something. Let's take COVID for example. Everybody has a take on COVID, but the thing is that sales-focused content, whether it is for a product or a service, it will definitely work if it adds value. That is where the defining thing is. That's where the defining movement is. Because people are wanting new products because of the COVID these days. They've stopped using certain products because of COVID these days. So if the sales content is geared towards organizing had prepared, okay, in terms of I can answer this with that case study itself. Fortune Foods, India, that Akshay Kumar is the brand ambassador for that. Fortune now has different items, right? Different items. They had Fortune oil. Yeah, you remember that box advertisement which came some days back? Open the box, what's in the box? Nice advertisement, nice. But that's not content marketing. Okay, that's viral marketing. That's viral marketing. It's trying to get as many eyeballs as possible, views as possible. But not open the box is not actually adding any value to my life. I'm just curious to know what's inside that. But Fortune Foods didn't stop there. They went and started their own what is that called? YouTube channel. You can go and check that out. Fortune Foods YouTube channel. They give a lot of recipes which add value to the people's life. That is sales content focused on people who are buying. In fact, today's when I was checking in the morning, there was a video which said how to make something with low fat, because that's something which people want, low fat, because people are health conscious. So, and Fortune Foods have a lot of such videos which are, I encourage the people after this talk, if they're interested, go and check out Fortune Foods. Of course, Fortune Foods is not paying me anything for this. It's just a good case study which I have come up with for them for the talk. But you can go and check out. You can see how focused the sales content is, and how appropriate it is, relevant it is for the COVID-19 times, or any other time for that matter. Okay.
Yes. Sir, next question is from Reveal Electro, and his question is, which are the best digital content companies in the world? Name them, sir, please. He wants to know the names of some of the names maybe of the companies who are dealing with digital content.
I have no clue. If you ask me, I will say my company is the best.
Exactly. Anyone would praise their own company.
Yeah. So I would never say this is a good company, that's a good company, because honestly, I don't know. I have no clue. Because I can say the companies which I was working when I was in Bangalore for 6 years, that would be the best digital marketing company. Sudeep is there, who's joined us. He's also a very brilliant internet digital marketer. He's probably going to kill me saying that, sir, no, my company is better. So I cannot answer this particular question. There are a lot of ways to find that out, like in terms of what are the. It's always better to go and search their portfolio. Find the number of clients they have. There's a site called Agency FAQs, afaqs.com, where you can see what are the new deals which are happening, new news about advertising and digital marketing. They will get some companies, but don't take their word for that. You go check their website, see their portfolio. Portfolio means the work the company has done. That and that only will tell you whether the company is good or not. Otherwise, a company can sponsor me and I'll say top 10 digital marketing companies. By the way, thanks ID, I can do that now for my blog. Okay, and I probably like 4 or 5 companies. I say, if you don't give me money, I'm probably going to say very bad things about you. Say that's probably going to happen. I'm not going to do it, but that's so. I cannot answer this question. Which is the best digital company? The person can go and search online.
Okay. Thank you for that info, sir.
Yeah,
maybe we can take.
Sudeep has answered the question. See that Sudeep has answered the question.
Yeah, that's there in the chat box, I think, so viewers can read it out. So we'll go to the next question, which has been asked by the same person, Reveal Electro. Is saying, sir, according to you, how is digital marketing content the best tool for advertising? I think so that has been answered through your PPT, but if you could just speak a few lines on this.
This is the point of the entire PPT was that, but I'll answer once more. It is like building value, adding value to the. I think the person joined a little late, so probably he missed out on that part. Yeah. So the entire point of DCM is to add value to the content, to the lives of the people, right? By like I said, Fortune Foods, how they add value by saying this is how you cook low fat, this is how you cook mishti doi, or this is how you cook this sweet. Of course, they're using their products, but they're not saying go and buy our products. They're just saying, our products will make it better. You want to buy, go and buy. Okay, so that's about DCM. Is that a very simple premise of digital content marketing is that it needs to add value. I'm sure you have seen. If you're not seeing, I encourage people to go and check out the. You've seen Amul ads, right? Amul ads.
Yes.
The billboards where they give a commentary on. That is not content marketing. That's a viral marketing, or this doesn't add value. It adds value by being an entertaining thing. That's it.
Yeah, they give advertising something what is going on, current affairs basically.
Yes, current affairs, yes. Oreo has a campaign which they say daily dunks. That's a good one. But that's again not content marketing. People confuse it with content marketing because it is also has a lot of good content. Daily Dunks, Oreo Daily Dunks is a very good campaign. But it's viral marketing. I see it, I like it, I send it to Dinesh, Dinesh likes it, he sends it to Anzil, Anzil likes it, he sends it to other people. So it's more of viral marketing, right? So that's about the digital content marketing. How to add value, create customers who are engaged, who will not leave you and go. That's the point of digital content marketing.
Yes. So next question is from Sneha Alex, and her question is again something what you have already spoken about in your PPT. Her question is how is DCM the best tool for advertising? So we'll just skip that question and go to the next one,
Okay.
because I think so you have answered that through
So
your PPT,
like
and we are already.
I would like to add one thing. I never said it's the best.
Okay.
I just said it is one of the alternatives people have to look into.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it won't be the best, I would say. It would be one of the important stuff. Thank you, Dinesh. Go ahead.
Yeah. Next one is from Mufida Sireen. Her question is, how can a person use content marketing to increase brand presence in the most efficient way?
That's another web seminar, actually. But I try to give my effective. You need to first, segment the target audience. Know your target audience first in the first place. What is their likes and dislikes, and segment them according to demographics, psychographics, all those things. Segment them, target them target them in a proper manner. Whether DCM, you can't have DCM for a rural product, right? Nobody would be available. First of all, there is no network much there to get content. So there you need traditional advertising. So you need to know whether your target audience is available on digital media so that your content marketing is effective towards them, right? So, and then you go segmenting, position yourself, and then you have to take care of the 4 P's of marketing: place, price, product, and promotion. So all those things are there, which has to be taken care of when you are doing DCM. This web seminar is mostly about introduction to DCM. But it is possible. You have to take care of all these things: segmentation, targeting, positioning, and everything.
So next question is from Arbaz Sheikh, and is asking a very interesting question, which I think so we mostly see in most of the audiences. Most of us tend to don't like ads and are more likely to skip them. How would the DCM be effective in the case?
This is where targeting will work. Segmentation targeting will work. See, I agree with Arbaz when it comes to saying that we skip. I myself skip the ads. Even if I want to watch it, I'm like, no, I don't have time. I'm talking basically about the YouTube ad, which we are talking about, and also the ads which come on TV. We have the remote option. We'll change the channels, as soon as the ads come. That is more of traditional marketing, traditional advertising. DCM has been effective in many places where it comes to adding value. I would like to tell Arbaz and others, go and check out Lenovo. Lenovo, you all know Lenovo, right? Lenovo's the computer company. Lenovo has a portal called Lenovo Story Hub. Okay? And see what are the content they have over there. It is targeted, it is segmented, and it is positioned in such a way that it will not appeal to everybody. One article might appeal to Arbaz, the next article might appeal to me, the next article might appeal to somebody else. So DCM is again different from traditional advertising, where traditional advertising, we skip it because it doesn't add value to our life. But at DCM, there are, Lenovo sold a lot of computers through that Story Hub, by the way, indirectly. That is one of the greatest case studies of DCM, and it's for South Asia region, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, China, that area. Okay, Lenovo Story Hub. If you go and check that out, you'll get what kind of material. And I encourage everybody to go and check out if they're interested in this particular thing.
Yes. So next question is from your student, Ansel Fernandez. He is trying to ask you the extensive use of traffic algorithm and coding. Will the data mining approach for the direct and digital marketing and the
how long it took to frame this question?
So probably when you are presenting, half an hour he has taken. Yes. Have you
Yes.
heard the question, sir? You want me to repeat it?
Absolutely no. You could please repeat it. I lost your traffic algorithm.
Extensive use of traffic algorithm and coding will the data mining approach for the direct and digital market undermine privacy?
See, big data, that's what something related to data analytics and data mining, which Anzal sir has said, is about, it's all about big data. You have data, you can, again, it will help you segment and target and position yourself. I know where to target somebody if I have that big data. Big, big data is very useful when it comes to them. But the thing with big data is it's expensive. Not every company might have the resources to go for traffic coding. It again comes to the digital divide. The people who have the resources will do this data mining better stuff, so they have the edge over there. But data mining, data analytics, as of now, is a pretty expensive stuff. You need an entire team for that. Google Analytics is the most basic of this data mining stuff. You can get to see how people have performed on your website and all those things, right?
Yes. Next question, sir, is from Bryce D'Souza. The question is, what are the opportunities of DCM when it comes to hospitality and travel and tourism industry now that the industry has been shaken up due to COVID-19?
Very much. Most of industries are shaken up due to COVID-19. This is where the industry needs to, let's say hospitality industry, they need to regain the trust of these people. Now, what is the biggest challenge for hospitality industry right now? Forget DCM for the moment. What is the biggest hospitality challenge? People are not coming out, right? People are not going anywhere. Of course, they can't go anywhere. Most of the places it is banned. But you start DCM right now. You will be in a good position to capture those markets through your COVID-19 post, like how you are sanitizing how you are keeping your premises safe, how you are doing things which are ethically right when it comes to things. Right now, DCM is for hospitality industry is difficult because people, even if they want, like I want to go out of Mangalore, it's been like 4 months since I've been in Mangalore. I want to go out desperately somewhere. I can't go anywhere. But I am always on the lookout for places which are safe. So DCM for hospitality industry would be trying to regain the trust which has been dented very badly, because travel and hospitality is one of the places where I'll be worried to take my family whether this place has been sanitized properly or not. So create content on that lines, regain your customer loyalty and engagement. Dinesh.
Yeah. Next question is from Aditya Raj Panicker. And the question is, does giving a trial period for customer fall under DCM, just like how Netflix gives? Yeah. You want me to repeat, sir?
No, I got it. See, this model is known as the freemium model. FREEMIUM. Freemium, not premium. It's a combination of portmanteau of the word free and premium. The free is the trial period or restricted access to a particular software or restricted access to a particular, New York Times does it. It gives you 3 articles free per month, and then after that, if you want to access, you need to pay them. This is absolutely, you can classify this as content marketing, but you should also understand the context here. Netflix, I'm not very sure if it comes under DCM, because Netflix is giving, they're adding value by giving entertainment, and of course they're giving promos and free stuff. So it's more of a marketing strategy, premium marketing strategy, rather than which comes under DCM. So I would categorize Netflix into Netflix's model into freemium model, that is giving probably little 1 or 2 shows for free. That's what I think the questioner wanted to know. And then asking to subscribe for more things. So it comes on the freemium model rather than DCM model.
Yes. So this is the last question, I think so, in the chat box from Melvin Pinto. We're anyway running short of time, but then we'll quickly get the answer from you on this. This question is from Melvin Pinto. And the question is, how do we deal with the ethical issues arising in DCM, especially breaching into the private space of the audience?
This is a self-regulation question, Father. Thank you for the question, Father Melvin. First of all, I would like to say that ethical issues are more of a the company's prerogative or a company's thing that they need to tell that we will not use stuff which is breaching the privacy. Like Facebook has been known for breaching the privacy and then selling the private stuff to advertisers who then use that against the people. Your social profile, even your photos can be, for a period of time, I think Facebook did that, where they sold your photographs to the advertisers and you didn't get anything. So that's a very big ethical issue. And Facebook got Facebook got a lot of backlash because of this particular incident. So ethical issues arising from DCM are more of self-regulation, I would say. Like, I would not use something which has been accused of unethical stuff, because it will affect my company's my institution's name if it comes out that we have used this. But there are unscrupulous people. We cannot deny that. There are people who will not have any problem using these unethical practices. So there's more of self-regulation is required. Also, definitely the government and the Ministry of Information Broadcasting also should look into this. But there's a very gray area at this moment.
Yes, thank you very much, sir, for that answer. So basically, I think so we have come to an end with regards to all the questions. I have answered all the questions. So, sir, from my side, it's a big thank you to you for accepting our invite from your busy schedule. Thanks for all your informative PPT and such a nice presentation. I think so. It's a great thing that you have done.
Thank you for having me, and thanks a lot, participants, for your patient listening. If you have any questions, any queries, you can always mail me. I have given you my mail address. It's there on the video. I think you. So thank you everyone for having me. Thank you for listening. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. I would also like to say thank you to all our lovely viewers for hooking their attention for almost 1 hour, 15 minutes, basically. That's all from our side. St. Xavier's College would like to say thank you to Mr. Vishal Nayak once again.
Everyone.
Thank you, guys.